When it comes to my Gundam model kit reviews, the reason I like to give them a little bit of a ranking using the tier system, as well as breaking down their individual aspects with a little bit of a point system, is because this is something that I wished that I could have had way back in the day when I first got into Gunpla. Both 2 times I got into Gunpla, because both of those times I built a kit so bad, I thought the hobby was outright garbage. So yeah, back then there was 2 kits that were just so bad, I left the hobby never to come back. But gladly I did, otherwise I wouldn't be here right now. The first ever kit I built was the Master Grade Wing Gundam Custom EW. That was an absolutely phenomenal kit, especially back in 2004, and it blew my mind to smithereens. I just had to have more. Sadly is, I knew nothing about Gunpla, and the more I got were 2 high grade 1/100 kits, one of which was the high grade 1/100 Sandrock. Now I thought, after building 2 more kits that were this goddamn bad, that maybe I was just completely wrong with the wing, and it's not a cool hobby. However, then back in 2011, I moved to Japan, and you cannot escape Gunpla when you're there. No matter where you go, every store, most stores stock something Gunpla-ish. I actually calculated from everywhere that I went that you're always less than about a kilometer away from Gunpla, and that is not an exaggeration. You're always near to someplace selling it. You'd never know. Small, tiny little shops that look like they wouldn't have any Gunpla have Gunpla. Huge, massive malls, you're gonna find Gunpla. I lived in the middle of nowhere, and I was a short walk from brand new Gunpla in 2 different directions. It's a hobby you cannot escape. It's everywhere, and the boxes just absolutely lure you in, and I bought some more Gunpla. I also didn't know anything about Gunpla then, so I bought something that looked new and cool, which turned out to be absolute poop. It was this right here. The high-grade Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode. Now I'm super glad that my wife got me a birthday present just a few weeks after that, which was the Master Grade 007 sword, because that put me on the exact right track. But yeah, that's why I'm going to be talking about this one today, but not exactly that one today. I'm talking about a bit of a color and parts variant, which is the high-grade Banshee Gundam Destroy Mode, one of my all-time least favorite Gundam kits ever. So essentially, the kit that put me off Gunpla. Anyway, as usual, this video right here would not have been possible without those awesome people over at Buy, so if you want to get yourself some good Gunpla, not bad Gunpla, check out that link. Anyway, winding back on time to the build, I was wondering right here if I'd actually have a new perspective on Gunpla, that'd be able to look at this a little bit more objectively. Maybe it's not as bad as I remembered. Oh my god, it was. Woo! There's just a whole lot of things with this build that just don't gel up to what I love about the hobby. Now, this may be completely subjective. I'd like you to sound off down there in the comments if you've built any of the high-grade Unicorn Gundams. Do you like them? Don't you like them? Let us know why and drop it down there. But yeah, for me, the kind of thing about this is, it is a high grade, there's not a whole lot of runners in here, but the build is so tedious. All the things that I do love about Gunpla, like for example, getting an appreciation for the mobile suit, the engineering, what makes it isn't here. This almost feels like a bit of a 3D puzzle of random ass parts that go together, as opposed to a scale model of a Gundam kit. In the end, it does end up looking very much like the Banshee, but getting there, not that fun. On top of that, there's so many tiny little pieces, which means there's lots of little nubs. 3 to 4 nubs, which are massive, on dark plastic per piece, and there's tons of pieces. It's the cleanup here is murder. There's also some really weird joints in the design of this kit. It's nothing like standard high-grade Gunpla at all. For example, like this knee joint right here. You have to push a polycap into the middle of a joint, then attach another joint onto it. It's just weird, it's a 1-point bend, it doesn't give you much, and it looks like there's some locked articulation behind this little piece right here. A lot of strange choices. Now, what does really kind of bother me about this particular kit, next to, say, objectively bad high-grade kits, aka like the infamous Tristan. At least the build on that is fast. So yes, it may be bad, but it's polite enough to kind of tip its cap and get out the door pretty quickly when it comes to the build. This takes forever for a high grade. It's so much cleaning, so many parts, it's really tedious. I've never been literally yawning while building a kit and then doom scrolling between each of the limbs because I just do not want to get back to it. Again, it may just be me, but this is the most boring build in the world. Again, this is 14 years since I built that Unicorn Gundam in Japan in a tiny little Leo Palace apartment with a broken floorboard, and I still remember how bad it was, and it's just as bad. Woo! If you're getting into Gunpla, get a good kit. Make sure you get a good kit, because bad kits will make you think it sucks. Anyway, onto the aesthetics. Look at me here saying onto the aesthetics. I still don't even have it fully put together yet. It's still all the parts just laying out here. Yeah, we've got all the crappy essentials in here. So we've got those cup joints locked into the leg where there is no rotation, right onto ball joints. So you're not going to be getting too much out of that. This is just free floating as well. So it's kind of rattling around there while I try to build it. Some of the parts don't squeeze together as much as I'd like them to because they're just kind of a load of random geometric shapes, and this kit has committed to me an absolutely cardinal sin when it does come to Gunpla, and that, oh my god, these little flaps are on the back so loose. Yeah man, the joints on this kit, they're so ass. They're really bad. They're just so terribly designed and don't give you much at all. Anyway, there is the body, but yes, the cardinal sin which I just can't abide, and that is there's a sticker on the head of the Gundam. That is something I really don't like. Eye stickers fine, but color correcting stickers on a head, not great. Again, in the end, this does look like the Banshee without a doubt. The finished product is pretty much fine besides tons and tons of mold lines. But yeah, the finished product, not bad. If you're going to paint this kit up, you know, clean it up nicely, get it painted, all of that, it will look nice in the end. But you know, if you're going to put that much effort into a kit, why not put it into an actual nice kit instead? What really makes me sad is I love the weapons on the Banshee. The vibrating nail and the armed armor BE, is it? I forget which one that is, but they're so cool. Overall, it's not the worst looking kit when complete, not at all. Even with a bit of a top coat and some decals, you'll get away with this looking very, very nice. It's the build that always gets me. You know, the articulation ain't great either, but visually, it's okay. So jumping right on into the aesthetics finally, and that right there is what the high-grade Banshee Gundam Destroy mode looks like when complete. And no matter what I did say about the particular build, when it comes to the finished high-grade model right here, it is exceptionally good looking, when you do consider its age as well as the amount of detail in a unicorn or the Banshee itself. Overall, it's pretty hard to not be impressed by the amount of the actual psycho frame on this kit that is color accurate. As far as I know, when it does come to the included stickers, there really isn't too much that needs to be covered up. Gold and psycho frame wise, all there is stickers for really using on thrusters and various little recessed details. The thrusters are these little ones on the side skirt, so those would be really easy to detail up with a gold Gundam marker when the part isn't assembled yet. And there is a few of these other little kind of lines right here that you do throw a couple of those gold stickers into, but besides that, overall not too bad. Easy enough to detail up, even with simple paints and Gundam markers. And speaking of which, there it is side by side with the actual art of the Banshee, and as you can see, most of the psycho frame, if not all of the psycho frame and most of the gold is present on the kit. Overall, again, very, very impressive for a simple older kit, definitely. So visually, this does have the overall look locked down. There is a sticker that I didn't actually use right here on these shoulder, Vulcan, clavicle sections. That's what these larger ones right here, these navy blue ones, the you meant to pop those on there, just like I would have popped the one up on the front of the head, that sticker right there, which to me is definitely this kit's biggest issue. Having to use a sticker right in the front of a Gundam's head is, yeah, that's a critical hit right there. But yeah, overall, this is one impressive kit when it does come to the visuals. Now, I will mention this might look a little bit more navy blue than it actually is. This is quite darker than it's appearing in the videos. I do have to light it quite aggressively to make the actual details pop on this. It is a very dark shade of navy, so it may look a little bit brighter than it actually is in video, but it still does feel a little brighter than what I would expect from the black unicorn. When it comes to the details, the color separation is still quite good. In the head, we've got a lot of the gold in there. From some angles, it is kind of hard to see the actual Gundam's face because of all that V-fin, but underneath it, well, it does look nice. All the gold is separated out extremely, extremely nice. Moving down to the body, we have all the angles you'd expect to see from the Banshee Gundam, and it just looks quite nice. The way all of the geometry is super, super sharp, so again, the build wasn't the most fun thing around, but the actual finished kit still works out nicely. I guess Bandai did prioritize the overall looks over the overall experience. One of the aspects about this kit and the overall Banshee design that I love is the armed armors. We've got the vibrating nail claw, which does look really nice. And I have to admit, the build of this I did actually enjoy compared to really the rest of the kit. I think it's just the unicorn itself that isn't that much fun. The long-range armor there looking great as well. Again, the color separation of the gold is a lot better than I would have expected from an older high grade. No gold stickers for the inner psycho frames, and that makes me very happy. Again, those nice geometric patterns of the armor plates opened up on the waist unit, gold inside looking very, very decent. And even though the build of the legs isn't that great, the articulation isn't that great, again, Bandai has definitely doubled down on the aesthetics here. The armor panels look great, they look separated perfectly. I've built multiple versions of the Unicorn Gundam, including Perfect Grades, Master Grade EX, and still, this does get the visuals down nicely. Overall, aesthetically, there's not much to complain about, but the use of some navy blue stickers. Now, when it does come to the model kit sins, aka nubs, seam lines, and mold lines, well, one thing you don't have here is seam lines really too much because of the way it is broken up into all those tiny little panels. But when it does come to mold lines, we've got some serious offenders. We've got some here on the thigh, on the armed armor right here, and as you can see, the nubs come up something awful on this kit. Even though I treat this exactly the same as any kit that I review, which is double snipped off with the God hand, you still get a lot. There's another mold line right there. Pretty much a lot of the aspects on this are rocking wicked molds and nubs. Hard to clean up, and I do recommend cutting everything at a distance and hitting it with a glass file. Otherwise, you're going to get some marking, even if you're super, super careful. So really, to get this kit looking extremely, extremely nice, it is a long project. Not only is the build long enough for high grade, if you were to clean this up to actual picture perfection and paint up the details, it's going to take a long, long time, and your money could be invested somewhere, and especially your time, into a better Banshee model kit. So jumping on into the size comparison, as you can see, the Banshee is quite big compared to average size Gundams, which is the high grade RX-78-2 on the left and the high grade Gundam Mark II on the right. So in universe, in the UC, I guess weight class of Mecha, the Unicorn and the Banshee are fairly large, so pretty big. Next up, there's the high grade Strike Freedom Gundam, high grade Gundam EX, high grade Gundam Barbatos, high grade Gundam G-Self, high grade G-Quax, and the high grade Gundam Ariel. So now moving on into the accessories. Yeah, that is officially the accessories that come inside of the box. And when I say officially, that is because there is a whole bunch of stuff left over on the runners. For example, from what I can see, it does seem like you've got pretty much the entirety of a shield in here. Same goes with the entirety of a beam magnum. There's some more of the shield. Some more shield parts, so yes, it does look like the whole thing is here, at least it looks like it. And we do have a pair of right hands in here as well, one for holding onto the beam sabers or just to be a fist, and one for holding onto the beam magnum. These standard arm cuffs are in here as well, so you can build this with standard arms, not with the two armed armors. As underneath the right arm right here, there is no actual hand, so there is nothing underneath this. Again, the joints are pretty weak on this. But yeah, there is no hand inside of this like on the real grades or the perfect grade kits. So it is just kind of locked in over the hand and there is no hand, but you do have the optional cuffs in here if you want to build it something like the regular Unicorn or the Banshee Norn, but technically not official. And all those things I mentioned, including the shield and the beam magnum that are technically on the runners left over from the Unicorn Gundam, there are no instructions in the manual in which to build them. So if you do want to build them, I always recommend checking out DeLong's website because he always puts the manuals up there, so you can just search for the high grade Unicorn, destroy mode, and build along with that manual. As for the one accessory we do have in here, this is even a little bit on the funny side. So it is a widespread option for in here, I guess a relaxed hand version for relaxed poses. Actually, this is kind of hard to get out from in here. Okay, there we go. Well, you can probably instantly see right here what the issue with it is. It was printed on the same runner as the navy blue parts for the new armor parts that make up the Banshee Gundam from the Unicorn Gundam. So it means the hand is not the right color. So this will have to be painted gray to match or it'll just look funny. It is always nice to get a widespread included inside of a box, but you know, in this sort of situation, more than likely you're going to be putting this in a nice cool pose. A relaxed hand won't really make much sense with the cool vibrating nails, so you're going to be using the holding hand more than likely. And you know, it's not a real fist, it is a holding hand for holding onto beam sabers. And speaking of which, this kit does have beam sabers. These are detachable and everything, so you can pop them off. They are a beam saber, but this kit does come with no beams, so you know, I guess the Banshee has better weapons than beam sabers, doesn't need them, but it would have been nice to actually have the option inside of the box. Oh, there went that arm again, and these little black pieces from the backpack keep falling off a lot. I'm starting to see why I never liked this kit. Anyway, as for what I was going to say before the arm rudely interrupted me, it seems like when the vibrating nail hit the ground, it lost a piece too. Even though I've also minimally moved this kit, the joint here is starting to separate. So this is a polycap between just two pieces, and that's its elbow joint. Again, not great. But anyway, the point I was trying to get to was the included hand seems to be for this particular pose, that kind of reaching pose that the Banshee does, but look at this arm just piecing out entirely. Oh man. Yeah. This kit though. High grade unicorns? Ouch. So now moving on to the articulation and the overall, well, commentary on the build strength of this kit, and it is not too bad. Now, when you do move it around, I do find the limbs tend to just kind of fall out because they're simple peg-in-hole polycap joints, but it's not going to fall apart just yet. The hips could be a little bit better, but not too bad. One thing I will say for the high grade compared to the other transforming variants is you're not going to untransform something by mistake while handling it, which is something that always sends me round the bend when, you know, interacting with, say, the real grade or the perfect grade kit. You can just be pressing around and things will get untransformed. These parts like to pop off on me, but, you know, overall, solid enough right out of box build like this. Getting the Banshee into the usual test pose, so as you can see, it's not the craziest poser around. It's very, very, very limited. Although, you know, getting, well, if you do consider it's not like the unicorn pulls off crazy poses in universe, this might actually be fairly accurate. But if you're like me, you like kits to do something a little bit over the top, or at least get a lot of options to do something a little bit more dynamic. Those options aren't necessarily here. However, the overall articulation is okay. Mildly limited, but not the worst around. So anyway, that right there is it for the review, and I was really wondering with this kit if some time, perspective, and having built more model kits would give me a different, almost semi-objective opinion on this kit. And honestly, I feel like even though so much time has gone by and I've learned a lot about model kits, it still kind of came up with the same conclusion I came up with before. I do feel the high-grade version of Unicorn is one to be avoided. So that does mean to me that this right here is a X bronze tier kit, so about as low as it can go. Actually, I suppose you could go lower, but pretty low. I did give this a little bit more points than I kind of felt like for aesthetics, because the foundation is here. This looks like Banshee, the colors overall are nicely color separated. It is a lot of injection gold, which may not be to a lot of people's tastes. And the navy blue, again, kind of, it's okay, but it does feel a little bit brighter than maybe it should be. In some lights, it does look nice. However, it is the stickers, the mold lines, the nub marks, all of that stuff that really does bring down what is a decent enough foundation right down to the ground. When it comes to the articulation, this again is not the worst ever. It has some simple articulation, it's blocked some places like the torso and the hips. The knee bends and the elbow bends are just about right angle joints, and the head can look around a little bit. It's basic. I didn't feel it was 1 point worthy, definitely wasn't 2 points worthy, so that's why I gave it a 1.5. When it comes to the accessories, there's not really much to say here. There's a widespread open hand that is color inaccurate. So it means if you do want to use it, you'll have to paint it. If you don't want to use it, it kind of serves no purpose. There is stuff left over on the runners, but there is no instructions on how to build it as optional parts for your kit. But if you do have kit building experience, or you check out the Unicorn Gundam's manual, you could build that stuff if you want it. Lastly, then when it does come to the build, again, I didn't give this any points at all. This is my least favorite Gunpla build of all time. Was back then and it is now. It does none of the magic that I like from Gunpla. I never felt like I was building a scale model at all until the end where it kind of came together, but throughout it you're just throwing bits upon bits upon bits like a 3D puzzle. Nothing of it gives you an idea of, oh, this is a big, giant robot's leg, or this is the core of a mecha where the pilot will be sitting. There's nothing like that. Nothing ever made me feel this was a model kit of a giant robot. Just like a funny little 3D puzzle or something like that, because it's just a bunch of geometric parts that do color separate nicely in the end to a nice enough looking kit, but the build itself just has no magic to it. Humdrum, dull, do not recommend personally. Anyway, that right there is it for the review. If you do want one of your own for some reason or another, or if you do want to get some or any Gunpla kits that are out there, you can check out my link to buy. That's where I got mine. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back again tomorrow for another Gundam video, and I'll see you then. As always, this video right here and every single video I make would not be possible without each and every one of you guys who watches this video. And special thanks at the end of this video right here to those who support on the channel memberships as well as over on Patreon, including Caleb Engelhart, Joe, OG59061, Scotty Thomas, and Simon.